I'm Andy, he's Dwain, and this is the Queueline Conversation. What do you want to talk about today?
I really think we should talk about Cedar Point, the next big ride that's going to be there.
You know what? I think that's a great topic, and I think it's going to be an RMC conversion of Main Street.
But when, though?
That's a really good question. I don't see it happening next year because obviously we're getting Valraven next year. But maybe by... So next year is the 25th anniversary of Main Street. So it's not going to happen then. I think the year after that, though, I think we're going to see the conversion happen.
So they're going to allow it to play out its 25 full years.
Yeah. So, well, you know what? This queue line, we're walking all the way down here. Like, I'm not ducking over things. So, yeah, I think they're going to let it have its 25th birthday, and then after that, we're going to see the conversion come in. Now, the question is if that's going to be RMC or GCI. Holy hell, where is this queue line going?
I'm going over.
What the hell, man? We got to go under. This is insanity. They need to fix that. Oh, holy cow. Anyway, that is quite the first episode right here so far.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to be the next thing to go into Cedar Point?
I think that they need a flyer. I mean, the one type of ride, that they don't have there. They've got everything you can think of. They've got the big Giga. They've got the 400-foot coaster. They've got some nice woodies. They've got a bunch of inverted coasters. What they don't have is a flyer. You go to any Six Flags park, you go to Kings Island, go these places, and they have a flyer. But the one thing that Cedar Point doesn't have, and I think there's a room for it, you can have a compact flyer like the Vekomas, which I don't like per se, but you also can have some really nice ones like the Supermans and things like that at some of the Six Flags parks. But I think if they go that route, it has to be something big. It has to be something grand, because a lot of people don't really like the flyers all that much. So.
It is the one B&M they don't have yet, so it's a good question of whether or not they're going to put one in. With the dive coaster coming in this year, you wonder if that's what they're going to do. I'm not a huge fan of the flyers. I like Manta, I like Tatsu, but I'm not quite sure about it.
I'm more pressed to go with your idea of the RMC. I think it's coming. I think they let it go 25 years. They'll let the whole thing go for 25 years. Main Street Henry won't be too happy about that, will he?
He will not, but maybe he'll be Steel Street Henry then. Who knows? So he'll just have to, but he won't get as many laps on it for sure.
I doubt
because and that's what I think the park's going for, is that they're taking all the rides that have issues like Rougarou or previous Mantis, and Mantis was converted into the floorless with the idea being that we want to make it better for the guests. So I think that's what they're going to do. And if you look at the list of things that people complain about at Cedar Point, it usually starts with Main Street. That's usually the place where they start. The interesting part, though, is Ghost Rider and GCI redoing that one. And they're supposedly retracking the whole thing. And then they are reprofiling some of it, but not all of it. So it's not going to be nearly as drastic as you would see with the RMC. So you wonder, is that the road Main Street's going to go? Get Millennium Flyer trains, retrack the whole thing, do a little bit more intense maneuvers here or there. I don't know if that makes it interesting enough to justify it being done, because Main Street's layout, a lot of people say it's boring to begin with, and you kind of need to blow it up altogether.
Yeah, my biggest complaint about it was, because people have been talking about doing an RMC treatment, but is it the type of ride that can take an RMC treatment, or is it going to change it so drastically that it might as well just tear it down and build something completely brand new? So I think that's a big issue as well.
And the thing with the flyer is that the capacity, it's usually, such a long line. And I know you said you could make a compact flyer, but man, I don't know if you can. I don't know if they have the space for a flyer there right now, if they want to do anything else in the future. And I think that's where you get to is, they've always found space to do stuff there, but the question is there going to be space in the future? And I think if you put a flyer in, you kind of really cut down on that. So Well, that's, I guess, our first show.
We're the next ones up here.
We are next in line, so we'll see you on the ride.